That's interesting. I've put together quotes on some Tim Duncan stories.
Mhm.
Darius Miles, I know you talked about this a little bit, and I compiled this prior to, I think that was Club 520 as well. But Darius Miles said he gave the nicest insults in NBA history. DeMarcus Boogie Cousins said, and I quote, I talked shit to him. He scored 16 straight, tapped me on the ass, and said, good job, big fella. LaMarcus Aldridge said, scored 14 straight and hit me on the butt and said, you'll be okay. And then KG said he would hit you in phrases. Ooh, got you. Another almost. This is the worst right here. Taps him on the ass and goes, nice try. Why 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 was that Tim's demeanor? Why was he like that?
Tim was sneaky, man. He's such a competitor. I played against Tim in college. We played him in a tournament, I think, to get to the Final Four, and we double teamed him like crazy in college. We were sending two people at him and really just trying to smother him because he was just that good coming into the league. Um, I think he had a unique skill set. I mean, we hadn't seen a big guy as skilled as him, with great touch around the basket. And then think about it. Tim Duncan added that bank fadeaway shot off the
Mm-hmm.
18 feet. He's probably the only player that used the glass like that. So I just think the way he did it, I think that's why you hear those comments with some of those great power forwards that went against him, because he's not a trash talker, but he plays the game tough. You can't take him out of his game, no matter how much trash you talk to him. He's going to stay consistent. His demeanor never changes. Um, and that rubs guys the wrong way. Guys get mad when they can't frustrate you. They
Mm-hmm.
can't get in his head. He's just one of those guys you can't get in his head. And that's what made Tim special. And he faced everybody. I mean, he went against through his career, 20-year career, he went against some of the old great power forwards. And when I think about Charles Barkley and the Karl Malones of the world towards the end of their career, and then obviously all the good ones, the Dirk Nowinskis and Kevin Garnett, of course, and so playing against all those type of guys, he's won against tremendous and great power forwards, and always held his own.
What I think is pretty frustrating, there's a really solid dude who played ball, I think in Europe maybe for like a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's Chilltown32 on TikTok. He had one of the fun. You know who he is?
I've heard of him.
Okay. He had one of the funniest reactions because he's on like a millennial Gen Z podcast. And they're
Uh-huh.
talking about how Anthony Davis would just kill Tim Duncan. And he was like, you don't even know how good Tim Duncan was. You have no idea. And like, it's true because I've seen both of them. I've seen both of them play. Tim Duncan, to me, is thought of as like being so consistently good that he's an afterthought.
I think because it wasn't the way he did it.
Mm.
He wasn't fancy, and what I mean by fancy, he wasn't dunking on you. Obviously, yeah, of course he's going to dunk on a few people. Um, Very basic game when you think about obviously 17-footer, right hook, left hook, jump hook. Um, Great defensive player. Doesn't get a lot of credit for that. He can obviously guard his man. Great shot blocker, and also too, I think for Tim, you got to realize he came in and played with one of the greatest centers of all
That's
time.
right.
So you got to imagine what he learned that first couple years. I think maybe David only played 1 or 2 years with him, maybe only one. I'm not sure, but um, just learning from David Robinson. I mean, David Robinson was the ultimate defensive player in the league, one of the best big men we had, and doesn't get talked about a lot when we talk about great centers. But David Robinson should be in everybody's top 10 as best centers to ever play the game.
Agreed.